everybody, welcome back to the Caravan Classic Garage. It's kind of a strange day today. It's a happy day and it's a sad day. We're out in the old Ram 1500, but we're heading for the dealership. We traded it in. So in a little bit, I'll show you what we got. So we're kind of sad to see this truck go because it's been a great truck, but everything just kind of all of a sudden came into place that it seems to us like this is the right thing to do. We've had this truck for 6 years. It's given very little trouble, but what are you going to do? It's going to be a great truck for whoever gets it. I hope someone that's really looking for just the right truck gets their hands on this one, because they'll get a lot of years out of it. But anyway, see you in a bit. Alrighty, so this may get a little complicated. I'm going to try and explain it as best as I can. For a long time now, when I've got a van, I want a truck, and when I've got a truck, I want a van. I had a really nice 2014 Grand Caravan RT. No, don't get me wrong. RT doesn't mean anything. It's a trim package, right? RT. Let's say it stands for really nice trim, because there's nothing performance about it. But they were really nice vans. So anyway, blah blah blah. When we got the white Ram 1500, it got traded in. It was just what we had to do at the time that made sense to us. So for the last couple of years, I known that the old Silver Bullet here has been kind of living on borrowed time, right? We've made a lot of videos about this. We've kept this car going longer than anybody else would have kept it going. Anyway, so on the Auto Trader, you can go in and set your preferences for your search, and every day it spits you out whatever is new. So I had my formula of what van I was looking for, and it would spit me them out every day, and every day I would check them. And I'm pretty picky. I know exactly what I want, and they're kind of few and far between. Anyway, the May long weekend, on the Friday, a very promising van popped up. But two things: it was the Friday of a long weekend, number one, and number two, it was kind of far away. If you look at Toronto as a square, we're up on this top corner of it, and this van was all the way down on the far kind of kitty corner to us, down at the bottom of the 427 at a Kia dealer on the Queensway. So anyway, I saved it, and I said, okay, I'm going to keep this in mind, and we'll see how things kind of play out. And what happened was, I come out to change the snow tires on this back to the summer wheels, and I started jacking it up, and it started making funny noises, and stuff was falling down. So this whole thing is getting kind of soft underneath. So I said, well, maybe it's time for us to make a move, right? And then I thought, you know, what do I do? I don't want to just retire this and go get a van to replace it. Now, number one, I don't have a little car to bomb around in anymore. And number two, I've just got basically another truck, right? So we'd have all these great big trucks plus a van. So I said, it'd be really nice if I could find another little car, and we'll just do like two. I'll trade in the 1500 Ram. We'll get a nice little car, and we'll get at least have a look at this van, or find a similar van, right? So anyway, I thought that would be easy until I started looking over the long weekend. I started looking for a small kind of station wagon type car like this with a stick shift, because I like a stick shift in a small car. Deb likes it too. So what I found out was there's no such thing anymore. Nobody makes them. Not even the Asian cars, you know, that have that kind of sporty reputation. Mazda, you used to be able to get a Mazda 3. My friend Peter got one last year, a Mazda 3 with a 6-speed. No more. There are, I think, some little Hyundais and Kias, but I'm just not big on them. The people that like them, but for my reasons, they're not for me. So anyway, I thought, what about a Subaru? Subaru, that's kind of an enthusiast's car brand, right? They must still make a little car with a stick shift. They don't. I couldn't believe it. The only way to get a stick shift in a Subaru is to get a WRX. And I did not want a WRX. I don't need a great big turbocharged engine that runs on premium fuel and has all this special stuff. I just want a little freaking car for tooling around in, right? So anyway, it turns out Subaru did make Impreza wagons with a 5-speed manual transmission up until 2023. But they are few and far between. And to find one clean with low miles that, you know, is at a good price, it's really hard. So on the Monday of the long weekend, I'm goofing around in the Auto Trader, and I found this little Subaru Impreza wagon at a dealer that was actually the closest Subaru dealer to me. They had this car in the lot. They just, holy moly, we're being attacked by little blackbirds. Okay, don't poop on my new car. Anyway, okay, the birds are gone. So I found this over the long weekend, and so Tuesday morning, we were there first thing in the morning to check out this car. And, well, we bought it. So we traded in the 1500 Ram, we bought the little Subaru, then that same day we drove down, looked at the van, and we bought that too. So let's show them to you. So here they are. Aren't they snazzy? Let's check them out. We'll look at the Subaru first. This here is a 2020 Subaru Impreza. They call it a hatchback. I call it a wagon. The trim level on this is touring. I'm not sure of all of them. I think it goes, there's base, there's sport, there's touring, there's premium or limited, and then there's the WRX. So this is kind of a middle of the road car. It's not overly fancy, but it is, you know, well enough equipped for us. So here you can see here, it's just, you know, a pretty basic car. It's got pretty much all the same stuff that our Caliber has with like a couple of trades. The Caliber's got the home link, the garage door openers and stuff. This one does not have it. But this one has Android or Apple CarPlay, which the Caliber does not have. So it does not have a factory navigation system in it, but it's no problem at all to plug your phone into it and use Google Maps, and it comes up on the screen. It looks just like a factory navigation system. That's good enough for me. It's got, you know, all the usual stuff. Air, cruise, windows, locks, keyless entry, push button start. It's a 5-speed manual. That works out good for Deb because that's exactly what she's used to with her Caliber. It's a really, really nice little car. For a little car, it's got plenty of room in the back seat. I would say it's probably got a little more rear leg room than our Caliber had. And the headroom is great in it. It's just, it's a pretty roomy little car. Part of the reason for the room in this car is because they stick with small wheels, right? It's got 16-inch wheels with low-profile tires, where the Caliber has got an 18-inch wheel with a much bigger tire on it to get the ground clearance, right? Because I don't know for whatever reason they wanted it to have a bunch of ground clearance. So the problem is when the wheels get big, the wheel wells start encroaching on the interior, and that takes up a lot of your interior volume. You don't realize it, but it does. You can see here it's got lots of room in the back. The seats, when you fold them down, they go flat like that, or, you know, relatively flat. So you've got quite a bit of room for loading stuff in there. It's really good. We bought at the dealer, we bought the little Subaru cargo tray. It came with a set of factory Subaru all-weather or slush mats in it. And here's the original carpet mats in excellent shape. Here we've got the famous Subaru Boxer engine. This one is a 2-liter 4-cylinder. And this is the kind of the next generation of them. It has direct to the cylinder injection, no more port injection like the older ones had. But it runs really well. It's got lots of power. I'm quite happy with it. And here's our van, my Ghostbusters van, I call it, because, well, you get the picture. This is a 2016 Grand Caravan RT. Like I said, RT I think stands for really nice trim. But it's a pretty well kept van. It's got 100,000 kilometers on it, which is 60,000 miles. Oh, by the way, the Subaru, it's got 66,000 kilometers on it, about 40,000 miles. It's yeah, that's pretty decent. So this thing, it is what it is. It's a minivan, right? It's got the nice black leather interior with the red stitching in it. Very racy. It's RT, red stitching, right? It's full stow and go, so all the seats fold into the floor, and you can put them in different configurations. You can fold just the backs down, like all of these. If you don't want to put them in the floor, but you got to bring a sheet of plywood home, you just flip all the seats down flat. You can put your stuff on top of them. In the front, you know, usual minivan stuff, right? This one does have the optional navigation system in it. It's Garmin, so that's good. That's what I'm used to using. I've been using my portable Garmins that stick to the windshield for years. This van, they come pretty well put together, the RT vans, but on top of the standard stuff that they all come with, this one has what they call the safety sphere. I think back in the day it was like $1,400 or something, and you get rain sensing wipers, you get blind spot monitors, you get cross path detection for when you're backing up, when you stick your tail out of your parking spot. If something's coming this way, it'll alert you. And it's got the park sense monitors on it. Beep, beep, beep when you get close to like a tree. It's pretty decent. You can see here it's been popped on the back at some point. We'll deal with that in time. But the rest of it's really, really nice. Yeah, I just liked it. It was nice and clean. It drove nice. It's nice and tight. It's got 4 brand new Michelin tires on it. The brakes are good. This is a nice van. We'll get a lot of use out of this. Under here we've got the Chrysler 3.6 Pentastar V6, and the transmission is a 62 TE 6-speed automatic. That's about all there is to this. I think it's nothing. I think a squirrel's been eating my battery blanket. I might see if I can get a new one of those at the dealer, or it's just made out of crap that doesn't last very long. It is 8 years old, remember. All right, let's take these babies for a little spin. It's starting to sprinkle a little bit, but they're not made out of toilet paper. We're not afraid to drive them. You can see here, this has got the nice screen. I can't plug my phone into it right now because I forgot my cord. But it's got this other little screen up here that you can program to monitor different things that I found were all, I don't know, inconsequential. So I've got a clock and a calendar. Good enough for me. I don't know why it's just a gimmicky thing. I guess they figured they needed to. I wish they'd have kept that and give me the freaking garage door opener. But anyway, it is what it is. It's nice. It's got a really nice tight shifter. Anyway. And it's got a little cold light that Subaru goes on like they invented that, but my 68 Ford has that. And my friend Milt, his 68 Newport has that. Must have been a 68 thing. It's got lots of power. Not gonna go too far, but let's see here. There you go. A short drive from one driveway to the other. It's raining. I'm gonna back it in. You can see my backup camera. That's something the Caliber doesn't have. Oh, not to mention, this is something I also didn't mention that if you're not aware of, I guess everybody is. Subarus are all-wheel drive. Every Subaru is all-wheel drive, except maybe the BRZ, the little sports car they sell. But this is all-wheel drive. It'd be great in the winter. So you can see there's our picnic table. Blink. There we are. A few other cool things the van has. It's got remote start, and it's got both side doors are power, and the tailgate is power. Show you if you come out with your arms full of groceries and it's pouring rain or something, you just go beep, beep, and the door opens. Which is great until it breaks. But lucky, I have that covered. I have to say that I do kind of like the new style Pacifica van, and Deb did like it in the S package trim, where it's all the trim is blacked out on it. It is a pretty good looking van. The problem is, those vans came out in 2017. They were supposed to replace these vans, but they weren't really a great seller. And these vans proved to be so popular that, like the Ram 1500 Classic pickup, they kept building them 4 years after they were supposed to stop, because I love these vans. So why I decided that I want to have one of these is, number one, the level of tech in it is much lower than the new one. So I'm talking about backyard mechanic, fix-it-yourself tech. I can still get in this one with my crappy cheap scanners and stuff and muddle my way through and fix stuff. Whereas the Pacifica style van, it's got like a whole kind of next generation of tech in it, and it gets harder and harder to work on. Plus these vans, because they made this style of van basically with one facelift in 2011, this van went from 2008 till 2020. They made millions of them, and already the scrap yards are filled with them. You'll see, we'll do a couple of scrapyard videos, or I may have already posted it up. There may be a scrapyard video already posted up where we're looking for van parts. There's just rows of them in there. So, I mean, for the next 15 or 20 years, I will still be able to find these vans in wrecking yards. I'll be able to keep this thing running with junk forever, just like we did with the old Caliber. And that's why I like these vans. Plus, I'm familiar with them. I'm comfortable in them. Here we go. And I'll tell you something, this 3.6 engine has got a lot of snot, man. I like these vans. They're good on the highway. The older style vans, the ones before this, I've had one of every generation except for the Pacifica style, and they just keep getting better and better and better and better. This van, in my opinion, is the Grand Caravan perfected. They're just perfect. You could run these things on the highway. The old ones with the 3.3 and the 4-speed, they were okay, but they ate a lot of gas. The ones with the 3.8s were even worse. The ones with the 4-liter were abysmal. But this 3.6, man, it just does everything. So, that's it. That's a Subaru in our van. And this van, I tell you, it's already been earning its money. Deb's had it filled with furniture twice. It's been filled with swap meet stuff once. And this morning we were down in Claremont filling it with yard sale stuff. I forget how useful a van is and how much stuff you can fit in them. All right. Okay, so that's it for the introduction of the Subaru Impreza and our van. In the future, you'll see some more videos on them. I've got to get them kind of, I've got some accessories I want to put on them in the van because it is 8 years old and it's got some miles on it. We're going to go over it and do some work to it. Not really repairs, but, you know, servicing stuff that I feel should be done at this point. Both of these vehicles have actually been pretty well maintained at the dealership. They're both one-owner cars. So I'm not foreseeing any major things with them, but we'll see how that goes. The next video about the van, like I said, we're going to be doing some servicing up. So we're going to be servicing the transmission. I'm going to change the oil, change all the filters. We're going to go over it. I noticed the Subaru, when it was certified, the safety inspection, it got rotors and pads on both ends. This one has still got the rotors and pads on it that were on it when I first looked at it. So I assume they were okay, good enough to pass safety, but I still want to get in there and have a look at them, service the calipers, so I know what I've got. But anyway, that's all stuff for the future. For now, at least, they're good operational vehicles. We can enjoy them. And I guess when it's time to get them in the shop, you'll know at the same time I do. Anyway, I'd like to thank you for tuning in. I hope you'll come back and see us again next time on the Claremont Classic Garage. And until then, I'm Kevin saying so long for now.